Hello, everyone. KJ here. I just got out of the shower. I had to take a good hot one. I had to settle down the muscles, the oldness in old KJ. How's everybody doing? Now, I know this is so much different than you're used to hearing, okay? For 2 years, we have worked on a case. And I have got to absolutely filter through it all. And in order to do that, I have to have purpose in what I'm doing. So, what I want to do is to discuss this morning with y'all and the Zumba class that Andrew and I went through. First of all, Andrew had no idea that I was going to be taping him in the video itself. He absolutely, he just, what's that? Okay. I was wondering what that was. He thought that I was going to be videotaping myself in a Zumba class, which is exactly what I was doing. Again, I'm an honest person. But I am so glad that it turned out the way it did for him and for me. How's everybody doing? I don't see anything on here where in terms of let's see. Well, anyway, so there's a reason why I did what I did. We've got at least four people on here. Somebody say something. Come on now, I gotta know you're here. How you doing, Cowboy Fast Draw Missy? Y'all think I'm just gonna walk away? Do y'all really think that's where old KJ's going with anything? I guess in some ways it feels good to weed out uh, this whole thing, on whether or not people are actually friends or y'all. This morning was pretty awesome. I was so proud of myself and Andrew. It's been a long time since I've gotten out to do any kind of exercise. And I gave y'all a little smidgen of that. If you'd have seen the whole thing, you'd have seen me stopping and having to drink water. There was some women in there that you could tell they absolutely knew what they were doing. And what's funny about it is I noticed that Andrew kept gravitating toward this young woman. I don't know who she is. He was talking to her and everything. In fact, he ignored me. He absolutely ignored me after the Zumba class was over because he was busy talking to her, but that was okay. I was talking to other people as well. And I think it's really starting to, this whole idea of knock and the door shall open and seek and you shall find. Oh my goodness. Oh, Cowboy Fast Draw Missy, you would have laughed at me if I was with y'all. Let me tell you something. I was just so very impressed with all the different age groups in there. And guess what? When we got ready to leave, we're talking another class was coming in and they all had chairs where they sat in chairs and did stuff. And they were like maybe 70s, 80s group. I was like, well, maybe that's the group I need to be in. Even though I'm 52, I felt like, wow, they've got it for all age groups here. How you doing, Tessie Cooper and Old Lady Snoop? Yes, Old Lady Snoop, he was the only guy in there. And I don't know if y'all caught that in the video, but at the end, they all clapped for him and said, Dancing King. And he got this little blush look on his face and everything. And, it just touched my heart. He's always been open to doing anything, specifically dancing. He loves to dance. Yeah, right. Great odds. Oh, well, you ain't late, Mariah Sestola. I just opened up a live stream because I just couldn't keep it to myself. We had a great time. I got home, I jumped in the shower. I said, I got to get with the Rays. I got to get with them and talk to them about all this. It's really interesting. Yes, Linda Z, he is. His type of dancing is way different than Zumba. But I think it was Hope Grace that said she used to do Zumba classes. She actually was an instructor in them, and I'm like, wow, that's cool. But the reason that the video was shot the way it was because I thought he was going to move up a little bit. And there, here I was. I pressed play on it, and I walked back over there thinking he was going to move up. So you could only get, kind of to the side of the video of him. And but I couldn't let him know. Oh, thank you, Tessie. Thank you. Hi, Olive Heatley. Let me tell you, I spent over 2 years on this channel getting justice through understanding, and we still have a way to go with that. But I'll tell you something, folks. I've got to take a detour. I've got to take a detour, and it's got to be a healthy detour. And I don't know of any mother, grandmother, or anyone out there that doesn't want to see their either their son or their grandson get married. I want him to get married. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's something that I'm enthusiastic about, just as I have always been enthusiastic about getting justice through understanding. So this detour, it might make people scratch their heads, and they're like, what is she doing now? But the bottom line is I've got to have this breather. I've got to. I've spent so much time analyzing and researching this specific case that we've gone over for almost 3 years, really. I needed to, I guess, filter through everything, and I had to throw some positivity in there. It's always been my objective to have Sunday Rays, but I'm hoping somehow, some way, that I can figure out ways to make it more interactive instead of me just coming on Sundays and saying whatever I'm going to say. I want to be able to make it better. I want positiveness. I want people to understand that this is real life, y'all. This is real life. Yes, I'm taking a step out here to go to a damn Zumba class. That's what I'm doing. Normally I wouldn't do this, but guess what? When you have love in your heart and you care about life and you want to do better, not only for yourself, but set an example for Andrew, for CJ, I'm going to do whatever I can do to step out there. Yeah, Nicole, I don't, it's never been about, how many people's on this channel or anything like that. I always believed that if for nothing else, 20 or 30 people, that's always been what it was for me. It's never been about anything else. It's sharing what I can with other people. I think that's important. I've stressed that over the last couple of years in terms of that, in order to, for me, just me, I'm not talking about any of y'all. Y'all gonna do whatever you're gonna do. I've got to be able to feel like, everything is peaceful inside my spiritual life. So even though we've covered some really heavy stuff and y'all seen me go from the deep end back here and there and everywhere, the bottom line is I need some time to just filter. And the only way to filter through things that have accumulated for over 2 years is to bring in what? Some positivity. I know it seems weird that I picked this subject, but I'm not going to go on. I have really no desire to cover other cases. This case, with Chad Daybell and everything, that'll happen when it's going to happen. And I made myself clear in terms of Arizona and all that. I'm not going to go down that road. I'm just gonna go if something happens with Chad Daybell. That's what we're gonna handle. But it all goes back to who's gonna hang out long enough for us to continue to get through the whole adjudication process. And honestly, I don't expect everyone to sit and watch me try to be a mama. I don't expect that, but I do expect that people would care enough about me as much as I care about all of the Rays on here. I hope that's sinking into anybody. Oh yeah, Maggie Sue. Hi, Curly Shirley, Linda Z. It's kind of hard, because I'm a real person who y'all have seen me. A lot of y'all have seen me trip over myself and do things, that are absolutely not, I don't know, social media world normal or whatever. But the bottom line is I'm here, and I want to tell y'all why I did what I did. You know how I am. I've been trying to figure out ways, and y'all have given me all kinds of good examples of places that my sons should go to, or ways for them to meet good girls, But I want to say this up front, because the obvious is that the boys should go to church and meet a nice girl in church. Well, first of all, just because someone goes to church doesn't make them nice. Number two, I've had both of my sons at one time or another tell me, Mom, a man shouldn't go to church to find a wife. He should go to church to worship. And that they just don't feel right about going to church for that reason. And I told them I've been up front with them. I'm like, hey, God don't care how you get to church and what your motives are. Once you're there, He'll do that, that thing inside of you to make you understand what worship's all about and all that. In other words, it really doesn't matter to me if what reason they go to church, even though I'd like it just to be they go to worship. The bottom line is they're there. That's what I would want for them. But me being the way that I am, I'm evangelical. I'm a little more, I'm kind of like the evangelistic type of person. I'm out here in the world doing whatever I'm doing. The bottom line is that the reason I did what I did today was because I've been doing some research on all of this, and I want to share this with y'all. Okay, this is where my mind is. This will give you an idea. Right, Nicole, there are a lot of women that go to church that weren't very good people. Hey, the bottom line is church ain't just for the righteous. Church is for, people that need healing and all of that they're, whatever. So, right. BTK and John List were both regular churchgoers. Bad. It's the person, not the place. That's right. Oh, Lady Snoop. Good point. Hi, Amica Cream. How are y'all doing? Anyway, I'm gonna get through this. I need y'all to understand where I'm going with this. KJ wants to be a mama, all right? And I want my sons to get married. All right, and by the way, Andrew's not the only one that likes to dance. CJ, he likes to do that line dance and stuff. And I told him the next time he goes out to do line dancing, he needs to send me a short vid so I can post it. But I was reading up on some things, and I saw this, and it said there are 11 secrets to finding the perfect dance partner. When I see the word dance partner, I think, a soulmate, a life mate, right? Whether you're a beginner, like if Andrew or CJ was beginning to date or whatever, I'm looking at this through the prism, the lens of a dance partner being someone that they could possibly marry, okay? So just bear with me on this. These tips will help you find the partner of your dreams and have you twirling and swaying to the beat in no time. And twirling and swaying, like in life, just enjoying life. You know how, I don't know how many of y'all, maybe you're at home and nobody's around and you hear something, either it's on the radio or your cell phone or the TV or whatever, your computer, and it just makes you kind of dance a little, dance when nobody's looking kind of thing, and how it makes you feel. Well, in some ways, I think that's how it is when you meet somebody. So, secret one is know what you're looking for in a dance partner. Now, I've already shot a couple of these pre-records, and I know Andrew and CJ's never going to watch anything on my YouTube, but this is just for my own namesake, right? So whenever I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, what could they be looking for? Before you start your search for a dance partner, you need to know what you're looking for. Do you want a partner who's just starting out like you or someone with more experience? Do you want a partner who is looking to compete or just dance for fun? And when I see that, when I say compete or just have fun, I think about, is it going to be such a narrow thing that my sons would want to get with a woman just because they want to have this certain type of life? I build up some kind of successful financial life, or is this about, hey, let's get together and let's live like there's no tomorrow? Let's just not forget, y'all. My sons are going to live their life the way they're going to live it. I can't predict how they're going to live their life, but I've got to accept that they're going to live their life the way they're going to. These are important questions to ask yourself because they'll help guide your search and ensure that you find someone who is a good fit for you. So, the secret one is knowing what you're looking for in a dance partner. So, I guess the question is Andrew and CJ, have they thought about this at all? Have they thought about what kind of woman do they want? So the next secret is take classes. And I'm like, take classes in what? Finding a mate? I don't think you can do that, but maybe you can. Maybe you can just start researching. But one of the best ways to meet potential dance partners is by taking classes. Not only will you learn new moves and techniques, but you'll also have the opportunity to meet people who share your passion for dance. You'll be able to see how they move and get a feel for their style and skill level, which will help you determine if they could be a good match for you. Now, when I look at that, I think, okay, so they would have to, it isn't necessarily a class that they would have to take, but they would have to be around people that are wanting kind of the same thing. They're all looking for someone. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for that special someone. And where are these places that they could go? And many of y'all have left me little comments about, you can go to libraries or Zumba classes or, things, just different places, church. I guess the question really is are these women, these young women, are they putting themselves in a position to always be on the lookout for a potential mate? Secret 3, attend dance events. Another great way to meet potential dance partners is by attending dance events. These events provide a fun and relaxed atmosphere where you can show off your skills, make new friends, and possibly find a dance partner. Whether it's a local dance competition, a dance party, or a ballroom dance event, there's sure to be someone there who would love to dance with you. And what's interesting is when we got ready to leave, we went by the main desk, and I was waiting on Andrew because he was in there changing back, taking a shower and changing back into his work clothes. And I was talking to the lady who's been there like 18 years, who's kind of like the coordinator for all that. And she does this Thursday dance party. It's called Thursday Dance Party. It's at 9 in the morning, which is kind of hard. I had to really pull some strings to get Andrew over there today because he wasn't just a few blocks away from an attorney's office that they were doing some remodeling work on. So it worked out perfectly for him to come down to do that. But she has this Thursday dance party. She says they do all kinds of different music, and it's all age groups and all this and that. And I was like, look at this. And I showed her on my phone some of Andrew's dance moves. And you know what she said to me? She said, we're always looking for good instructors who could do hip hop and things like that. And I thought to myself, dear Lord, dear Jesus, you put me at the right place at the right time, and there are people out here that were actually praying for old KJ, because it ain't about giving Andrew a career in that per se. It's like maybe extra money, because he's a tradesman through and through. He works 50, 60 hours a week. Maybe he could do an hour class here and there. Wouldn't that be neat? And then he'd get more confidence in himself, and he'd meet new people and all that. I don't think it would be too ethical for him to meet a girl if he's an instructor, even if she is an adult, because I don't think that would be proper, but I guess it really depends. Now, this is the one I've got a little problem with because I'm so old-fashioned. It says, look for a dance partner online. If you don't have a lot of opportunities to attend dance events or take classes, looking for a partner online is a great alternative. There are websites and online communities specifically designed for dancers looking for partners. Simply create a profile, list your skill level, your dance style, and what you're looking for in a partner, and start searching. You can also attend virtual dance events or classes to meet new people. I guess that would be safe if you could attend virtual dance events, and maybe, but it's just not like it was when I was growing up, You met people out here, whether it was at the park or at a ball field or something. We're out here in rural America. We're not in the middle of a big freaking city. You know what I'm saying? Yes, his timing, says Nicole. Old man Snoop says knitting is a fantastic idea. Show him the photos out there of men knitting. A knitting man is a critical thinker. Good coping skills. That's a nice peacock tail. What are you talking about? Are you talking about on my head? What are we talking about here? Hi, Miss DMC. How are you doing? That's a nice peacock tail. What are you talking about? Old lady Snoop. I don't see no peacock tail. Hi, Liza Joe. Anyway, so I don't know about this online stuff, and Andrew's just too old-fashioned for that. CJ, on the other hand, he's liable to get into that, at least try it, because he'll be 24 here in a couple of weeks. I'm just trying to really, really get to a place in my own mind of what they're dealing with. Folks, this day and time, it's hard. It's hard for them in this day and time. It's not like it used to be. Hi, Hope Grace. Aren't you the one, Hope Grace, that said you used to be a Zumba instructor? That's so cool. And that was the first time I think in like 8 years that, oh, okay. That's a figure of speech, old lady Snoop. Okay. Anyway, Hope Grace has talked about, being a Zumba instructor. That's the first time in 8 years that I have actually gotten in there. And I jumped to it. When you got ABBA on there and they're doing Dancing Queen, you might as well stick a crown on old KJ's head, because I was ready to do whatever they told me to do. A damn somersault, I was going to do it. Hello, Mouse. How you doing? I'm glad you put Mouse on there. Hi, Marcella McNeil. Hey, Angel R. Yes, Angel R. says girls aren't being raised to be mothers. Hold on, I want to go back to that. That's a good point. Girls aren't being raised to be mothers and wives anymore. It's sad. They want a party. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know what, I mean, the only thing I can think, when I went to college, I did communications in college, and my thesis was on media influence. And it just seems like people don't realize that when you look at the magazine covers and you look at all these things that are going on that are stimulating these young people's minds, every day meeting somebody, walking up and saying, hey, how are you, and all that just don't seem flamboyant, does it? Donna Donald, it's going. I mean, I'm telling you what, I'm going all out for this. As I've told everyone else, I needed a break after this over 2 years of being on this case. I've got to filter through some things, and in order to do that, I've got to have some positivity. I've got to recharge. I mean, that's a long time. It drained the shit out of me. I mean, it was hard on me. And if I've got to tackle this situation with Chad Daybell down the road, I'm going to look toward positivity. And the only positivity that I see are two things. And three actually. It's God, my family, and my friends. And, self-care and stuff like that. Hi, BC. Sandy Phelps, my 24-year-old son was telling me that one time a while back. He's like, why is it that the good guys always finish last? I said, let me tell you something. I said, in the Bible it talks about the first shall be last and the last shall be first. And I said, and I know that's on a different subject. I said, but let me tell you something, son. I said, you can't act like a damn asshole in order to get a girl, because what kind of girl are you getting anyway? What kind of girl are you getting? If you've got to be an asshole for a girl to say, oh, he's not just falling all over me, so and he's a jerk, but, I like the challenge. What kind of girl is that anyway? Maggie Lee, I'm telling you. I mean, I've always taught my sons to work hard, to be themselves. I mean, they're not wusses. They just love life, and they're raised rugged, basically. Yes, Olive, you're right. They've got to have the chemistry. But I guess girls, my sons were like, at one time or another, are always saying it's just easier for the girls in the dating thing than it is on guys. And that really is so disheartening to me. That's a good idea, Curly Shirley, that they have Humane Society events that hold adoptions for animals looking for homes. Somebody even said that girls, a guy can take his dog and go walking in a public park, and that's a good way to meet girls. I'm like, knock and the door shall be open. Seek and ye shall find. Y'all hold on just a minute. I got to grab my drink. All right, sorry about that. Uh, in the end, says Mariah, good guys finish first, and it's not easier for girls than it is for guys. And Rachel Carter says, you make me laugh so much, I'm at the beginning. Oh, well, Rachel, you're going to catch up to this at some point, and I'm going to tell you what, I had a plan, y'all. A really good plan on this. I had done some research and I thought, well, let me think about what my son's like. And I knew Andrew loved dancing. And I knew he had gone with me about 8 years ago. And, oh, by the way, I want to say this. He'd kill me for saying this, but I got to tell y'all. At the end of the class, he was talking to that girl, but then these other women, older women that, and we're talking like 40s, 50s. They were talking and stuff, and they were listening to him talk to this girl that's around his same age. And one of the women walked over to me and she said, "You know what your son just said?" And I was like, "Oh my God, what?" She says, "He said he was here because he had the best mom in the world." And I thought, oh my gosh, he's laying it on thick. Oh my God. And he's not a mama's boy. He just loves his mama. I mean, I'm telling y'all, it just doesn't get any better than that. My son met his girl joking, a hiking group with dogs. He has one dog. He met this beautiful woman with two dogs, and I'm so happy for them, says Mariah. Oh, Nicole, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Old lady Snoop says, we're nature loving hippies. That's true. And I think, I wonder if mothers out here, those, they're not going to go and do something silly like, oh, KJ's doing here. But I wonder if they teach their daughters, you know, do you, do you, like, does the mother say to her daughter, do you know that how the guy treats his mother says a lot about him or something to that effect? So it's like, I don't know. I mean, I've always heard that any guy that doesn't love his mama, there's a problem there. Now, there are exceptions. There are situations where there are some women out here that's had children that are far from mothers because they don't nurture and take care of their children. And I don't know their situations. And I have a lot of compassion for that. I understand that, some women just can't be the mothers that they need to be, and not by my standards, but just, nurturing and loving. So Lisa says, I absolutely do. I have two daughters, 16 and 21. Maggie Sue says, when my girls were dating, I told them to watch for a guy that loves his mother and treats her with respect. That was very nice. Yep, that's true. That's true. But back to this, let me just kind of get through this because I want to show y'all where I'm going with this, all right? Because listen, this is going to really, it's starting out, it's just starting to get the little flicker, the little flame, and I'm hoping for a freaking huge bonfire through this whole experience of knock and the door shall open and seek and ye shall find. How many times people that's been on this channel for a long time, like we went through some mundane things, we had to go through a little bit of foundational stuff in order to get to the fun, to get to the mind blowing, to open up our minds to see things and all that. Just, it's going to take a little time, and it's going to be good for me, and I really feel like it'll be good for everyone if you'll just take time to kind of help me out through all this. Anyway, so what I was saying on these secrets, there's 11 of them. And the last one that I spoke of was looking for a dance partner online. And so when I read that, it's like, it's not finding a dance partner online. It's finding someone, and this whole concept of online dating and all of this. Another thing is join a dance studio. Joining a dance studio can be an excellent way to find a dance partner. Not only will you have access to a variety of classes and dance styles, but you'll also be able to meet other dancers who are at your skill level. Most dance studios also have social events where you can dance, mingle, and potentially find a dance partner. Now, I just can't see that in application on what I'm trying to do here. There isn't a studio for uh, all the people that want to find a mate. And unfortunately, y'all, it's a reality here in America. Uh, there's a lot of people that are going to the bar scene. They're going to bars. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. My 24-year-old goes to Nashville. I've talked to him about it. I'm like, man, this is what I've said to him. These are just, I'm opening up to y'all about this. I've told him, I'm like, man, you, first of all, this going to these bars, you don't know who you're going to meet there. When you got alcohol involved and all this and that, you might see a girl who's absolutely single there, but some guy over in the corner he's kind of mad. This whole, these guys out here that want to dang puff up their chest and stuff. And I said, you could walk out of that place and a guy could jump your ass, because he's pissed off because the girl paid you attention. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I'm throwing these scenarios out here. Maybe they sound like I'm being a little bit paranoid. But, folks, how many times? How many times have we seen it on the news? People getting in fights in parking lots or worse yet. I mean, listen, y'all. This is the bottom line. I'm not dogging out people that want to go have a drink at a bar. But I don't think that my son should be going to bars to meet his future wife. I don't think that they need to go to bars to meet a woman who would perhaps eventually have my grandbaby. I mean, that's just me. And hey, I guarantee you, before it's all said and done, I guarantee you I'm gonna meet one of these girls. And you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. I've made sure that if my sons bring a girl home that he's just maybe interested in or whatever, the bottom line is it's gonna be on my videos. I'm gonna make sure of it. You make no mistake, y'all. I've got a whole list of everything. And it ain't, I mean, they have no idea what I'm doing. It ain't like, they if they did, I don't know if they'd get upset with me or not. But hey, if I've got to be the mother that has to step back because it's the right thing to do, it's their life and everything, what's wrong with me going down this road? As long as I'm not interfering, as long as I'm not giving unwanted, unsolicited advice, I'm not doing it. I'm talking to all y'all on here. This is something that I'm talking about. It's got nothing to do with if these boys bring a girl home. All I'm saying is if I had my way, my sons would not be going to bars, meeting girls. It's just the way it is. It's the way I feel about the situation. And I think they know that. I haven't come right out and said that, but I have talked about the dangers of, first of all, never drink and drive. And then and this whole idea of, you don't know you cannot predict behavior of other guys out here at these bars. And by the way, alcohol, it takes away someone's, their inhibitions or whatever. And a girl might act like she's really, really on to my sons because she's had a few too many shots. And then the next thing you know, he's doing something stupid. And the next day, she might be like, what the hell was that? She might make my sons feel like dog shit. I don't know. Hi, Paula. The bottom line is that's not what I want. So when it talks about joining a dance studio, if my sons, I don't get into their life. I don't ask them questions that are nosy. I'm one of these types that sit back and let them come to me. If I get this inkling that this is all it's going to be for them, I'm just going to be like, well, I guess I got to keep praying. They'll I don't know. This whole what is it, doing something over and over again, expecting a different result. That's called insanity, and I don't want it for them. But then again, y'all, I mean, life is all about making good decisions, bad decisions, mistakes, things of that sort. It can't all be they did everything just right. You know what I'm saying? Jenny Benny says, don't go to preparing a people conference to meet someone either. That's another thing. I mean, you just brought up something last time. I'll have to put it on my list of things. It's not about, y'all know where I stand. I would like for my sons to meet someone who's like minded in the Christian faith. But what if? What if? What if they decide to get involved with an atheist or someone who's Hindu or whatever, which is, everyone in the world has their own beliefs, and I can honor and respect whatever anyone believes. All I'm saying is that would be a whole nother damn can of worms that obviously a lot of y'all have known me for over 2 years. You know I'm a very loving person, a very caring person. And I would do everything in my power to always show the love of the Lord in my heart. I would do that. Okay, so the next secret would be open-minded. Now, what are we talking about here? When looking for a dance partner, and again, y'all, this is about looking for a soulmate, looking for maybe a future wife or someone to get engaged to, or even just a girl that you're serious about that you could date for a long period, whatever. It's important to be open-minded. You may have a specific idea of what your ideal partner looks like, but sometimes the best dance partners come in unexpected packages. Don't be afraid to give someone a chance just because they don't fit your initial criteria. You never know. They could end up being the perfect match for you. And I absolutely embrace that. Because it's not about what's on the outside. And Lord knows, these young men, 24 and 30, I mean, they've had to see things on television and all this about what is supposed to be beautiful. Who the hell trained us? All these people that women are supposed to be this big around. They're supposed to look like supermodels. They're supposed to have big old wombas. What the hell are we talking about here? They're supposed to have this perfect face. Forget the damn headaches. Use the Botox at a young age. These young women have so much stress on them to look a certain way. And don't get me wrong, I think any young adult woman should be able to wear and do anything she wants to do as long as as long as they want to do it. But all I'm saying is that they've got so much stress on them to look a certain way. And that's so hurtful. Because when I was growing up, I didn't have a snowball's chance in hell. I didn't have a snowball's chance in hell to even look like some of these girls. I remember, I think I was in the 9th grade. There was this one girl, I'll just go by first name. Her name was Melissa. That was her name, I remember. She used to wear these dresses, nice dresses, to school. None of this skimpy stuff or nothing like that. But she was blessed, okay? But she was very proper. She was very beautiful. She was a beautiful girl. And she'd walk down the hall with guys just following her left and right. And I remember, I shit you not, y'all, I thought, I want guys to notice me too. So I got my mom to take me to a mall. And I had saved some money up. And I went into this, they don't even have this shop anymore. I forgot the name of it. But there was this red tank top. It was a red tank top, but it had like at the waist, it had ruffled red down to, like T-length. And I thought, that's beautiful. It was red, y'all, but I wanted to be, I wanted guys to notice me, right? So anyway, so I got the dress and everything, and I wore it the next day, y'all. And I'll tell you what, I didn't know if the guys were looking at me or not, but I remember I went to gym. I went and walked into the gym during gym class. They were not going to dress out that day, and I was standing over by the bleachers, and these girls started making fun of me. They started calling me Rooster, and I started crying. And I walked on the other side of the basketball court, and I stood over there and I cried because they were, calling me names and everything. And I remember this one girl that I didn't even know, she walked up and she put her arm on my shoulder. And she said, "It's okay. You can't just listen to what those girls say." And that's the kind of girl I want in my son's life. What did she look like? I can't really remember. But I'll tell you this right now, it didn't matter what she looked like. She had a heart. And she understood what peer pressure and all this other stuff. And I don't even think she was even popular. I don't even recall. I just remember her coming over there and doing that. And I mean, I was crying. It hurt me so bad. And I never wore that dress again. It humiliated me so bad. But that's the kind of girl that I want for my sons, is someone who can see past this pressure to look a certain way, to be a certain way, or a certain height or weight, or, whether they wear makeup or not. I think it's a girl that can just be herself. And if that includes her wanting to dress up or wear makeup or whatever, that's fine. But it can't be what is everything about her. In other words, a girl that would care about what she wore or makeup or everything. That's just to enhance her confidence that she already has, whether she wears it or not. So another secret to finding that perfect dance partner is one of the most important secrets of finding that dance partner, y'all. And I guess, that's slash a soulmate, is just to have fun. Don't take your search too seriously, and remember why you started dancing in the first place. If you're not having fun, what's the point? Now, that's a great, if it's all about my son's going out here and going, "Mom, it's just too hard. I've had these bad experiences, so the hell with it. I'm just not going to try anymore," or anything like that, then they weren't having fun in the first place. Because it's not about having your way when you're seeking someone out. It's not about everything falling into place. You've got to go into it with a positive attitude. And when I say fun, I'm talking about just being at ease, no matter how it turns out. Hi, Maria P. Jeannie Benny says, way too much pressure on girls, especially with social media and all the filter crap. I have a 17-year-old girl, and it's tough. She'll figure it out, though, says Jenny Benny. Well, I'm glad, Jenny Benny. I don't know what it's like to, this hair, it's aggravating the shit out of me, y'all. This thing, I just want to chop it off. I've got my hair up in a ponytail holder here, and then I've got one here. I'm trying to get my hair grow back out, and this is so stupid. But anyway, what was I saying? Too much pressure on girls on social media and all the filter crap. Hey, I'll tell you what, half these women that are famous and all this and that, they do all this touch up on their pictures and everything. I'll tell you, some of them, even if they didn't wear all the makeup and do all they do, would scare the hell out of all of us. That's their prerogative. They can do whatever they want to do. But the bottom line is these young women out here, I wish that there was some way that people could get through, or some kind of, I don't know, advertising campaign, like a public service thing, to let young women and young men, but specifically young women, know that they're beautiful no matter what. No matter what. Yeah, put your ball cap on, says Paula. It is, Nicole. It's awful. I mean, y'all have seen it. Some of y'all have seen it since I shaved it it was about this tall. Now it's starting to grow out. It always starts to do this during spring and summer. But embrace the joy and connection of dancing, okay? Embrace the joy and connection of what? Dating. Okay. Um, Whether you're in a romantic relationship or not, dancing is for everyone, and it's a fantastic opportunity to focus on yourself and learn new skills. Obviously, if my sons want to, it can't just be the first girl that's, reciprocating back in terms of being interested. It's about, going through that process of dating. And maybe they'll, maybe true love at first sight. I'm a firm believer that can happen. Sandy says, my daughter was anorexic when she was a teenager, and nothing I said or did would convince her that she was beautiful as she is. Thank goodness she grew out of it. I was so worried. Sandy Phelps, thank you for sharing that. That's absolutely a good perspective and a good point. Which also adds to this whole thing is, and this could happen both ways. Say for your daughter to meet somebody, maybe the guy's got something in his background or whatever that he needs to be upfront about, or something to that effect. I guess it all depends on what they're willing to share and what they're willing not. In other words, what I'm trying to say is, if your daughter does meet someone down the road, will she be able to say, yes, I had gone through this stage in my life, but I'm better? Would she be willing to share that? How deep would it go? Or would she say, that's in my past, there's no reason to talk about it in the present or in the future? Because I don't think either way is really wrong. I guess it all depends on the person. Maria says, your boys need to meet down-to-earth girls at barbecues, summer gatherings. Just avoid the gold diggers. Well, Maria P., like I said in that one pre-record, if girls are wanting to get with my sons for money, it won't last very long, because they're just working class guys. And I'm sure they could find ways to spend money on girls, but the money runs out eventually, and they've got their own livelihoods to deal with. And I'm pretty secure in knowing that they're going to take care of themselves first, not in a selfish way, but they've got to understand that. They can't just say, well, the hell with, my living expenses, my bills, my life, or whatever. I'm just going to spend it all on you. You know what I'm saying? It can't work that way. Curly Shirley says, as women, we sometimes put more pressure into ourselves, onto ourselves. Oh yeah, I've been there many times. It's been a long time though, in terms of, because I've been married for 14 years. Lisa says, it's a conversation for later on. When you meet someone you truly love, you have to learn to be vulnerable and share you for you, good and bad. Great point, Lisa. Really great point. Another thing is, learn from the best with an experienced instructor. Okay, now what does this mean? Should my young men there, my 24-year-old, my 30-year-old, get with an older woman who's experienced, huh? What is it? Older women make good lovers. I don't know if I could handle that. Well, I'd have to, right? I'd have to handle it. One way or the other. What do y'all think? You think my sons will get involved with and I'm not talking about like CJ at 24 getting with a 30-year-old. I'm talking about like a 40-year-old or something, 40, 45. I don't think I could deal with that. I don't know. Wow. My oldest is 37 with a 21-year-old beautiful son. She's still single because she won't settle for anything, and she's right. She deserves the best. Angel R, I mean, What am I going to do? What am I going to do when one of them brings home someone who's maybe 10 years younger than me? Huh? I'll tell you, I will absolutely freak plumb out if they brought someone home my age. I'd be, you know what I'd do? I swear I'd do it, and my sons would get mad at me. I'd take her off to the side and I'd say, listen here, woman, I'm your age. And, I'm just going to tell you right now, my son is old enough to be your son. And you need to go on down the road. That's what I'd do. And then he'd get mad at me. I just don't like that, y'all. I just don't like it. I'm sorry. Right, Lisa. I mean, I'm looking for a grandbaby. I ain't looking for someone who's the same age as me to get with my sons and say, well, I've done had my kids, or I can't have kids, or whatever. Again, this goes back to my sons are going to pick who they're going to pick, and what the hell? What the hell? I'm going to have to do a lot of praying and say, dear God, help me, Lord, help me. I believe in destiny, says Kathleen Curtis, in a certain way. Very certain way. Every relationship brings learning. Oh, well, that's a great point, Linda Z. It means talking with older men. That's a great point. That is a great point. When you're talking about learn from the best with an experienced instructor. Well, Wayne, he will give advice, but he won't like just throw it out there. They would have to ask him. And you know how guys are. Guys don't want to talk to other guys about stuff like that. They're more apt to come to me. I don't know. I just don't know. But that is a great point, Linda Z. Um, uh, oh my God. This old helmet says strap on spelled backwards is no parts. Oh my Lord. Here we go. Y'all get me. Where did I meet Wayne? Wayne and I met at Cracker Barrel. That's where Wayne and I met. It's the truth. We met at Cracker Barrel. I was working in a gift shop in Cracker Barrel. He come in. He kept coming in. He walked up, talked to me. He'd come in and have coffee. He'd come in there and walk around with me. I wouldn't. That was like for a whole year before I'd even step outside, with him. Can y'all believe it? KJ met Mr. Wayne at Cracker Barrel. Oh, hi, Gav B. Well, Angel says girls with green hair tell sons run. Okay, well, let's talk. Let's discuss that. This goes back to this whole thing about you can't judge a book by its cover, and you've got to let people be who they are. I really don't know. Honestly, if the girl if she's Christian, if she's responsible and she doesn't do anything like drugs or alcohol or whatever, well, I can't very well say alcohol because alcohol's legal, but if she's nice and she's caring and all that, should it matter what they look on the outside? I mean, I guess this could go into like what piercings and tattoos and things like that. Kathleen Curtis says tattoos scare me. What's that about? Sandy Phillips says I've dyed my hair every color under the sun. I think sometimes people don't want to look past that, and they get too judgy about that. Of course, y'all. I mean, as a mother, I've got this, I guess, this unmet expectation that she's going to look like the sweet girls, like, something like Heidi or something. You remember the book Heidi? The show Heidi? Some pretty girl who's very, just sweet and proper and all that. I mean, folks, this world has a way of just making people the way they are, and I've got to really think about that one. That's a really hard thing to have to deal with in terms of my opinions, because I try not to judge a book by its cover. God knows, if people judged me just by the way I look, and I'm not putting myself down, but folks, look at me. If I've got to be one of these damn Kim Kardashian women out here, or one of these people out here that, you could see on the cover of a Sports Illustrated, look, Martha Stewart's in her 70s. She looked pretty hot on a Sports Illustrated, but I ain't no damn Martha Stewart. I sure as hell ain't. I'm just old country girl. Hey, Leia. Nicole. I unfortunately do judge books by their cover, says MJ. And that's everyone's prerogative. I can't say what's right or wrong on that. Have you ever met someone and you're like, right when you see them before they start talking, they look so sweet and innocent, and then they open their mouth? On the other end of the spectrum, you see someone that you think, damn, is that a drug dealer? Is that a, whatever? Or is that a punk rocker or whatever? And they are the sweetest, most kindest, loving people who love the Lord. It can't be about that. And by the way, while we're talking about it, Jesus Christ himself was nothing. He wasn't, we see those pictures of what people think Jesus looked like, the long hair and the beard and the Jesus looking thing. Well, I mean, look at Jesus wasn't, this, he just looked like a regular man. Nothing, he didn't look like the God Almighty, Then you look at like what John the Baptist wore, he ate bugs and wore this, going around talking about, a voice in the wilderness and all this other stuff. I mean, it can't just be the aesthetics. It can't. I mean, Nicole is sitting here going, cough, cough, Lori. If you'd have seen Lori Daybell, okay, and you didn't know that she's a freaking serial killer, and she killed her children, murdered them, done what she did to Tammy and Charles and possibly Joseph Ryan. You saw her without knowing anything about her. She was an attractive, beautiful woman. You see her walk across the freaking Miss Texas stage there, Miss Texas pageant. You can't judge a book by its cover. You just can't. That's right, Mouse. Lori was very beautiful. She didn't have, she did have, like, I guess highlights, but she didn't have purple hair. She didn't have, nose rings or tattoos or anything like that. She looked like a proper Mormon girl, did she not? I mean, I'll tell you, it's really weird because it's not just about her niece, Melanie Pulaski, kind of trying to look like her too. You got April Raymond and others that they all got this ringlet thing going on. You ever notice that? Nicole says, a dang hussy. So the next thing is learn. We've gotten through that one. The next thing, we only got 2 more, y'all. Now, this is me learning, and y'all are watching me go through this. I mean, for God's sake, y'all, I'm 52 years old, and I shared a Zumba video with y'all today. I'm doing it. I'm doing it to it. I'm trying. The benefits of dancing go beyond the fun. The benefits of dancing go far beyond just having a good time. It's like the trifecta of awesomeness. Dancing is great for your physical, mental, and emotional well being. It's a fantastic way to stay active, boost your self confidence, and meet new people. And let's be honest, nothing says I'm confident and have my life together like being able to tango with someone. So why settle for just uh, one person when you can have the whole dance floor? Okay, so I myself, I demonstrated today in Zumba that I'm willing, and I'm going to, y'all. Okay, that's the only Zumba video I'm gonna post on this channel. But I think I'm gonna start going to Zumba every week because I think I need to get in shape. I've got this big old fat thing. I want to show y'all this. Okay, y'all are gonna see it now. You ready? You ready to see it? This thing right here. See it? You see that right there? KJ wants to do something about that. That's eating good, y'all. Look, it talks. It talks, y'all. It's bigger than my uppers. It's got. I've got to do something about it. Also, I'm not making any promises, but I'm also going to try to stop. I'm going to cut back on smoking. I'm not going to quit right now, but I am going to cut back. And we'll just see how it goes. It's called a muffin top, okay, Olive? It is. But I'll tell you one thing. Wayne, my husband, he loves this muffin. I mean, blueberry, strawberry, cherry, whatever it is, Wayne loves OKJ's muffin, okay? But he'll get to, he'll have to deal with it when that thing's gone, but but back to this, y'all. The bottom line is that it is. I mean, can Andrew and CJ does this line dancing, but yes, he goes to these Western bars. Can they meet a girl? Can that show confidence? Yes. But what bothers me about it is, in terms of going to the bars to dance, is that, is this something that this girl would expect for him to want to always go out and go bar hopping and stuff? That's not something I want for them, but it's their life. They're going to do what they're going to do. So the last thing is the perfect opportunity to focus on what? Myself, yourself. And dancing or dating, okay? Because we're trying to apply this. Instead of dancing, if my boys are dating, it gives them the perfect opportunity to focus on their self, and not in a selfish way, but more of like self-care. When you're looking for a dance partner, y'all, it's important to focus on yourself and what you want in a partner. Take some time to think about your goals and what you're looking for in a dance partner, and then look for someone who aligns with those goals. Remember, finding the perfect dance partner is not about settling for less, but about finding someone who supports and encourages you to be the best dancer you can be. And who knows, maybe you'll even find a relationship that lasts beyond just one day. Dancing with someone is a fantastic way to build a connection and potentially start a romantic relationship. So why settle for a mediocre partner when you can have a dance partner for life? Okay, so there, I got through it. So what does that say? It's not about just saying, okay, that they need to go out here and find a girl who likes to dance, and then they go out dancing and all this and that. It's about going out, dating, knowing that the girl is out here too trying to find someone special. And, it might work out at first. Maybe the dancing. This is, again, y'all, this is application. The dating, dancing. When I say dancing, I mean dating. It might be a wonderful tango. It might be great dance. It might be really wonderful and all this for a while. But, maybe after a while, she might think, his moves are old. Or he might get bored with her. It goes back to this whole thing about chemistry, and really, y'all, I believe it. Some of y'all don't believe it. I've read some of the comments. where I just believe the good Lord has someone picked out for my boys. But that doesn't mean they're supposed to stand around and not do anything because she's just going to fall out of the sky right in his lap. He's got to get out here too. And so I'm hoping that, ultimately, whatever happens, that they find that perfect dance partner. And just as a mother of my sons, watching them dance and enjoy life, and that it eventually turns into one of these very special dances, and that's called We Want to Have a Baby. KJ, you're going to be a mama. That's what I'm wanting. Um, Mohawk Mom, CJ does the line dancing. Andrew does more of the hip hop stuff. He's open to, this doing Zumba or things of that sort. Again, both sons are confident enough to do those things. Andrew more so than CJ, but CJ's one of them types that's like, I'm willing to learn. I'm not going to be one of these guys out here, oh, I'm too cool for that. Yes, Nicole, it's going to be. I have to have that positive attitude. Hey, daughter of Scotland. Just as I told everyone at the beginning, I'm sure you'll probably realize this if you haven't already. KJ's got to filter through the last 2+ years of what we've been going through on this case. And since we have some time to kill, the three things I love the most: the positive, God, family, and friends. And this whole journey I'm going on, y'all going to be amazed. You think, oh, KJ's just, she's just doing this, whatever, to kill time. Yes, it is, but it's also, I do nothing without purpose. And I know I'm going to learn some things. I'm hoping that Sunday Rays will bring a lot of people a lot of good feelings and things of that sort. And just want to thank everyone that has. Now, listen to me. For those of you that's hung in there, that's like, what the hell happened here? One minute we're doing this, the next we're doing something else. Folks, I needed a break. I've got to get re-energized. I've got to get myself back into a good frame. I can't do things productively unless I filter through the negativity. And in order to do that, I've got to go through a little detour. So all of you that have stuck with me, I know who you are, and I appreciate you taking the time to be there through my ups and downs. This is real life we're talking about here. Curly Shirley says, check out the demographics in your area. It'll give you an idea of when the younger generation in your neighborhood. That's a good thing. I'll have to do that, Curly Shirley. And I might even do a pre-record on that as well. It really was, Jenny Benny. And honestly, y'all, I just want to be upfront with you. I did a lot of praying throughout all of this, believe it or not. And I was so hoping that it would end up in Hussey's getting convicted on all charges. And I give all the glory to God for that. And so in order to fully feel like I'm giving him the glory, I have to filter all this out and do what I can to inspire, to exercise my spirituality. And obviously there are many people on here that believe in all kinds of different things, and some don't really have a belief system at all. And I've always honored and respected everyone on here. Hey, Yin Yang. I love you too. I love everyone on here. Listen, folks, this channel was open to get justice through understanding. You know that. But also there has to be times in it that we get a little break from the action. It will nourish me. I don't know about you. I have to take a step back. You can't be in the middle of a forest looking out. You have to step outside of the forest to look at the forest. And so this is a way for me to get reacclimated. And it's never been about just doing nothing. It's always trying to be as productive as I possibly can be. And maybe it's a change of pace for y'all for a little bit anyway. That I'm trying to be more on positive content for a while to get myself, back together. It took a toll on me, y'all. It did. You can imagine how much of a toll it took on the victims' family members. I've got to step back. Well, thank you, Snow Remover. I hadn't seen you in a while, Snow Remover. Or you're not, haven't been commenting much. I hadn't seen you in a while. If I was in the forest, I'd be too busy looking at nature, says Mohawk Mom. And y'all really, what y'all got to say really matters to me. I, honest to goodness, just, I've developed these friendships and relationships. It's not, to me, it's not what I would, if I had my way, we'd all be meeting in person. I'd be giving you a big old hug. That's what it's like for me. Well, thank you, Snow Remover. I appreciate that. Yeah, some people, they get on social media for whatever reason. They get onto social media, and that's their right and their life. They can do whatever they want. There is no wrong or right to be on this channel. You know that. The bottom line is that I'm going down this journey. I don't know how long it'll last. It might wrap up. Who knows? Oh yeah, Sandy Phelps. It's beautiful out here. This property has taken a lot of time and effort to get it where I want it. And I'm still planting stuff. In fact, when we went over to Andrews, and by the way, I posted that short of him helping with one of the posts on his garage. My husband is a general contractor of a huge company, and if all he has to do is send a bunch of subcontractors over and get it done within a couple of days. This is a lesson. This is a lesson that Wayne and Andrew both, they're building this garage just between the both of them. It's a way to, it's one thing to pay for a garage and have someone put it up for you, and it's another to build it yourself. And so it's a lesson. Are you, Roberta? Are you making that blackberry cobbler? Yeah, Jackie, I am. I want to see my children happy. And again, if I thought they'd come on here and watch my videos, I think I'd probably be the same, and they'd probably get a little irritated with me. But they're not going to come on here, no matter what I talk about. They're not going to. I mean, they support me in anything that I would want to do, but they're not interested in going on Mama's channel. Oh, hi, Shanbana. How are you? Boysenberries. Kathleen Curtis says I use boysenberries. I've never heard of boysenberries before. I'll have to look that up. Yes, Mohawk Mom. When they in that short, if you get a chance, if you haven't seen it, it's a short where him and my husband are putting this huge thing in the ground. When he stuck it in there, that's got to be saccreted in. In other words, concrete's got to be poured in it. You take a big old powder bag of saccrete, poured in there with some water, and he took a rock. It was a square rock that he had found, and he put John 3:16 on it, and he stuck it down in there, just as the little cabin he's living in right now, until he gets his house built. When it was being framed up, it had Bible verses all over the framing. So that's pretty cool. I thought I'd share that anyway. Hi, Erna. Taking a little break myself. I even shortened my name. KJ and the Rays are the only ones that know me. I really enjoy the spring weather and being here with you all. Erna, I'm glad you're here. Like I was telling everyone, I needed a break. I needed to I needed to get re-energized, and but at the same time, I couldn't just keep the channel open and really not be productive and enthusiastic and showing love and all the things that I know in my heart that I should. So I'm on this journey. I'm on the journey to be a mama. Because a lot of y'all are mamas, and there's a lot of people on here that I look up to that have educated me and helped me through a lot of things. Yes, we live out here. We live out here, Shanbana. The birds are always chirping. I'm on a screened-in porch right now. And daughter of Scotland, I'm glad you're still around. I'm glad all of y'all are still around. Donna Donald, Jenny Benny. And that we've got some new people. I mean, have y'all, a lot of these people that came in late, I would assume a lot of them were just narrowly focused on crime genre. And I totally get it. There's a lot of people that are. So when I started doing this, I've lost a few people, but that's okay. It all comes back to what, y'all? It comes back to 30 or 40, 20 or 30. Now I'm saying 30 or 40, right? 20, 30, 40. It doesn't matter. As long as the Rays, the people that I know, will stick with me out of our love and friendship with one another, that's all I care about. This is a different channel. This isn't a show. This is just us talking. It'd be no different, really, than if we all got on a big Zoom call, right? Ooh, sunbathing all day. Well, I'll tell you, I used to do that. I've got my grandmother was half Cherokee, so if I look like I've got a a, a tan, it's only I mean, I try to stay sunscreened up and all this and that. Uh, it's interesting though, isn't it, that some of us get out here in the sun and we can get dark. Others of us burn and all this and that. Well, Mouse, you're never too late. Never too late. You're always going to be in the company of friends on here, even if there's just a few people on here. That's the whole thing. Is I live out here in the middle of nowhere. I mean, well, it's somewhere. It's home. But I'm talking about if, it is like a Tennessee jungle out here. There's no through traffic. If there's any traffic that you hear in the background, it's people that live out here. There ain't no, roads. There's just like people that live out here. Nicole says, it's going to happen. Before you know it, you're going to hear Mama. Can we make some hussy cobbler? That's a perfect yard for some grandkids. Oh, let me tell you what, when I get grandkids, we're going to have the swing sets. We're going to have, it's going to be custom made. Wayne can build anything and everything. We're going to have it. We're going to have it. Cowboy Fast Draw, I'm going to tell you, there will come a time that old KJ will quit smoking. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. I love to have a cigarette. The nicotine, and no, I don't want a nicotine patch. No, I don't want nicotine gum. I just like to smoke a cigarette. I think it has maybe something to do with, maybe the little splash of Indian in me. I don't know. Maybe I need to get a peace pipe, huh? It is, Kathleen Curtis. God's earth is so amazing. Curly Shirley says, when I have you on my TV, my husband says, is that KJ? He knows I love you. Well, you tell that hubby of yours that old KJ says, hang around, because I'm going to be a mama sooner or later, one of these days. And hey, y'all, knock and the door will open, seek and ye shall find. And I believe it. And when we got ready to leave, and my son was in there getting his shower in the men's shower room, and I was out there at the front desk, and that lady who runs all the programs at that rec center said, I showed her that video, just trying to show off my son. she was an older woman, but she was one of the head people over there. She said, we're always looking for instructors who can teach hip hop. And I ain't shitting y'all, man. In that moment, I was like, thank you, Lord. Thank you. Because, see, that would give him something to do outside of his trade. Yes, he works a lot of hours and stuff, and that's his main uh, job and everything, to build houses for for a living and all that stuff. But if he could do that, because he's very artistic, he loves to draw, he loves to dance. I think it would be healthy for him. It would really be good for him. I told him about it when we walked out, and he's like, I don't know. He says, I couldn't find time to do that. I said, let me tell you something, buddy. I said, you are a subcontractor. You're not a per se payroll employee, because we set him up back when he was younger, when he started there, to where he is a subcontractor, so that it's really like he's his own boss. He files his income tax and does all that. And he, has to pay his own Social Security in and all this and all that. And I said, and if you're your own subcontractor, I said, if you need to take an hour here or an hour there in the middle of your week, you can leave. I said, you leave to go on lunch breaks, or you take the afternoon off, or whatever it is. As long as the job gets done, you get paid. So, I just know how much dancing means to him, and how good I believe he is in that genre of dancing. And it's something he feels good about, and not every guy can do what he can do. So the good Lord gives us all gifts. And some of us know what those are, or some of us think we know what they are, and then we find out, nope, God didn't want you to do that. But I think he's always been consistently a dancer, and I would just love to see him branch out and have those hobbies, so that he's not drawn to just saying, well, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. He has to take those steps. And sometimes, it takes a lot of prayer and maybe a little nudge from mama. Liza Joe, we have a sin tax on cigarettes, alcohol, and gambling here. Would you believe it? The lottery here in Tennessee, alcohol, there's a tax on it, and also a tax on cigarettes. And guess what that does? It funds our education in Tennessee. So you got gambling, drinking, and smoking that funds our education. Imagine that. And then you got people out here going, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you pull that money out your ass and pay that extra tax so that we don't have to? mm. And another thing I want to bring up, before I have to get off of here, because I do have things I have to say that I have to get done. Things are fixing to get real interesting with CJ. I don't know if I should be telling y'all this, but something's come to my attention. And I'm really, really getting a little concerned about it, and it's something that I wasn't thinking about. And I'm asking all the rays on here. When I tell you this, I need you to go back to the rewatch. Don't rewatch it, but just put it in the comments so I'll have it, so I can look back on it. My son, CJ, told me that he has run into a girl that was 2 grades ahead of him. So that means she must be about 25 or 26 years old. And she has a small daughter that's like 2 years old. And I'm like, whoa. I want to be a mama. This is ready-made. Who is the father of this child? Would he cause my son any problems? I'm not dogging this situation out, y'all, because I had a stepfather. But I also would think that if this is the case and he does bring her home, which I think there's a good possibility that he might, that I hope she's open to, blending, like if they were to get married and he be the stepdad to this little 2-year-old little girl, that they could have a child together. My preference, y'all. My preference is to find a good girl, because there are a lot of good girls out here that's had children. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying a girl that's never had kids. Y'all know that's what it would be, less of a problem. Because you don't know how the father of the child would be toward my son, whether it would be one big fight after another. Right, Nicole. I don't want him to have to deal with a lot of hassle. And I don't know the specifics about it. But he said that, she works. She works at a restaurant. And she was 2 years older than him. And they knew each other in high school, but they never went out or nothing. But they knew who each other were. And I'm worried about this, but in some ways, again, I say that I have a really good, solid relationship with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. If I do, then I got to leave my cares and worries and concerns about that on, I'm going to have to do that. Now, Snow Remover says that there can be baggage if they can't co-parent, but I have a daughter-in-law who co-parents really well with my son's ex-spouse. Okay, that gives me hope. But Kathleen Curtis says everything that increases potential drama and trauma. That's true. Oh, hi, Sugar Magnolia. God could have picked your son because he's good for the little girl too, says Shanbana. That's true, Mohawk Mom. Maybe the father of this child has nothing to do um, with the child. Sandy Phelps says if it's meant to be, then maybe he's God answering her prayers. I hope so. My husband is a better, way better than her biological dad, says Jenny Benny. Well, I guess the good news is I've had 3 sons. And by the way, just to let y'all know, I'm only going to talk about this one time. My eldest son is not in the picture. Right now, we've got some serious issues with him going on right now. I don't want to go into that. I want to respect his privacy. That's why I don't bring him up. I guess you could say that at the current time right now, my eldest son and I are estranged. And it's been very painful for me, but I've come to accept for what it is. Well, that's Kathleen Curtis's adoption is often a gift. Yeah, it's not a good situation. Maybe I'll talk about it down the road, but right now I can't. It's too hurtful. It's been really hard. The reason I never brought him up here in a while is because I knew I would have to let everybody know that the situation is not good at all. It's not good at all, and it hurts, really really bad. I don't want to. I really don't want to go into it, but maybe I will down the road. I hope you understand that for me to even say that my eldest son and I are estranged is a big step for me. So, yes, Olive, I've got a 32-year-old son, one that's 30, and one that's turning 24 in a couple of weeks. My eldest son's name is Quinn, Quinn. Yeah, again, I apologize that I haven't been bringing him up, but It's just been really bad. And I've given the whole situation to the Lord. I mean, there is nothing, absolutely nothing in this situation that I haven't tried. I mean, everything that you could possibly think of to make things better. Yeah, I've had to seek help through a therapist, a family counselor, to get to the other side of it because it's really really painful. I love you, Sugar Magnolia, and thank you, Daughter of Scotland, for being understanding. Yeah, Mohawk Mom, I've always kept journals since the 90s. I've got a whole freaking collection of them. Sometimes I think I want to just build a fire in the fire pit over here in the side yard. Oops, I think I'm getting low on battery. But sometimes I want to take those journals and just burn them all up so nobody will ever know my true, the things that are so intimate. But then sometimes it's like maybe I'll write a book one day. Yes, Shan Manna. That's true. Everything does happen for a reason. Mary LeSueur, that's very uplifting. I appreciate that. And I want y'all to know that, again, we are waiting for this situation to move forward. I've been looking to see Judge Boyce give a trial date, which we know it isn't until next year. But, folks, I can't shut this channel down until the whole adjudication process happens. And so I knew I had to, I guess, filter through and get re-energized. So this is what I'm doing. And I understand if some of you are not interested in going on this journey with me. I get it. I totally get it. But I will be here. I am loyal and I will be here for every one of the rays on here. I love you all. My battery's fixing to go dead. I did want to get with y'all. I took a big step today and started Zumba. Some good things have come out of it. I'm going to continue to cover this. I want to be a Momo. I want y'all to know how much I appreciate your time with me because y'all have helped me. Y'all have talked to me and been my friends that I love dearly. So stay strong. Remember Sunday Rays. I don't have an exact time that I do it, but I try to do it earlier in the day. We'll get back together real soon. I love you all. I'm going to go in here, get my chores done for the day. And like we always say, y'all, keep on looking.